Afternoon, guys. So today I thought I would show you my absolute favourite suppleness exercise for horses. It's the one I use the most. It's part of all my horses kind of schooling routines. I also use it on work horses. It delivers every time. I am on the lovely Billy today, who is a very buzzy, jolly chap who sometimes struggles to focus a little bit, and he also does lack some suppleness. So this exercise is perfect for him. It's also the sort of exercise that you can do on all horses of all ages and abilities, and you can adjust it. So the exercise simply is on a 20-metre circle. I'm doing it on a smaller one just so that I could film the whole thing. You want to mix up your lateral work on that circle. So you can go from riding normal to shoulder in, maybe then change it to outside bend, then maybe change it to travers, then maybe back to normal straight riding. You could add transitions into it as well. So it's really mixing up, and this really keeps the horse listening to your aids. It works on the suppleness. It works on getting those hind quarters under them more. And it's just one of those exercises that I find settles and gets the horse listening really quickly. Depending on your horse's age and ability, you can adjust the angle of the lateral work that you're doing to make it easier or harder for them. So if you're on a young horse, you may only have very slight bend, whereas if you're on a horse that's much more established in dressage, you might want to have much more angle in your lateral work. This is also a really good exercise if you ride quite a sharp, hot, sensitive type of horse, because firstly, being on a circle just helps them stay a little bit more controlled. Also, this is a common thing, but when you ride a sharp horse, it's quite hard sometimes to get your leg on at the beginning of a session, because every time you sort of touch them, they're a little bit explosive. So by doing lateral work with them and on a circle, you'll find that you can put your leg on a little bit easier while giving them something to concentrate on and hopefully stopping any sort of sudden bursts of energy or any bucks or cheeky moments. So you can see here with the lovely little Billy that I start off just by riding nice and straight around the circle before then swapping him into a little bit of shoulder in on the circle. And this is great because it really gets the horse stepping under a little bit more. You start to get that bend through their body, through their rib cage. It really helps the horse to start to bend over their back more. And really just, for me, with Billy especially, it was the fact that he was just listening so much quicker. And you can see here now I've gone from shoulder in to having outside bend. Again, a really great way to help with your horse's suppleness. Also, if you've got a horse that tends to run through the bridle a little bit, this can be a great way to get a little bit of control back without taking too much of a hold on the rein. And then before swapping it around again and then asking for his quarters to come inward, so travers. And there you can see just trying to get the angle from him. Again, not that easy, so you want to do it slowly and gently. You know, start with smaller angles on your lateral work and then increase it as your horse gets more confident and stronger. But you can see with this that you also want to be working on your rhythm and your balance. So as you change from maybe shoulder in into outside bend, you want the rhythm, the balance to stay the same. So you don't want the horse to suddenly drop off your leg or suddenly slow down a lot more or suddenly rush forward. The rhythm should always stay the same. And it is good to add transitions in. I didn't actually do it in this session, but it's really helpful that maybe every circle or two come back to walk or do a halt or something like that, which really helps keep your horse on your aids. So you can see here, I'm just asking for a little bit of travers. He's not that strong for it, so I'm not asking for too much before riding him back into just normal bend. Again, from this angle, you can see here starting to ask a little bit of shoulder in, so a nice bend around my inside leg. Really also making sure that I don't lose the shoulders and that he doesn't start to drift out too much on the circle. Again, also really makes you use more of your outside rein. So you can keep making sure that you're not hanging on to that inside rein too much. Here you can see that I'm taking him into outside bend. I love working horses on outside bend on a circle. I find it's really helpful and it's great for their suppleness, but also great at maintaining a more balanced, even rhythm when you're trotting, especially. Just, it's a real good exercise to do with them. And then before switching it back then into a little bit of travers. Again, remembering, really working on making sure that when you move from the different lateral works, that the horse stays in a lovely balance and a lovely rhythm and that there's no tension. And then, you know, this is work in progress for Billy. There are times through this video where you can see that he's a little twitchy in the head carriage, at times losing connection. Sometimes he's a little bit choppy in his stride, just where the balance and rhythm is a little bit lost. It also was a very midgy kind of day, so he was definitely getting a little bit irritated by them. But I really love this exercise in a warm-up routine. I think it really sets you up well before heading into the dressage arena or then going into focus, whatever you want to in your training session. It's a real good one.